You want to see something funny?
I'm very taken back by how awful I've been.
Wait, hold on. This doesn't have the right, we need like the lead up. This is only like a small clip of it. Here. County clerk and election denier Tina Peters allowed MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, that's the 1488 for a new pillow guy, to use her security card to breach Dominion voting machines in the 2020 election.
Here, the defense has, and Ms. Peters in particular, has remained quite defiant, which is her right, but certainly not helpful for her lot today. And in arguing why I should impose a particular sentence, she tells me about her ailments, her loss, her struggles in life. But in reality, for those of you who may have been here earlier this morning and seen some of the folks who've occupied that chair before Ms. Peters, there could be not much in the way of a comparison in terms of the type of sympathy one would extend to Ms. Peters. Those folks didn't have 4 lawyers representing them. They didn't have a team of assistants helping them. They're not getting rides in private jets all over the country. No, the people who sit in that chair suffer, generally speaking, immeasurable trauma in life, struggle mightily with alcohol abuse, substance abuse, mental health struggles, family loss. They come from broken homes. The cards they were dealt were never the cards that you were dealt, Ms. Peters. So when I hear you discuss your husband, who sadly passed away recently, your family struggles, and your son, who served our country admirably and made the ultimate sacrifice, I consider it. And I note too that he honored his oath to the country, something that is not lost on me when considering the circumstances under which you find yourself here. Your age, limited criminal history, and the like are certainly somewhat mitigating. Your ties to the community are what they are, but your reputation at this point is poor because of what you've done here and after. Your lies are well documented, and these convictions are serious. I'm convinced you would do it all over again if you could. You're as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen. You don't have those histories of drug and alcohol abuse. There's no lifetime of trauma, not even close to the type of mitigating circumstances I would see from many folks who sit in that chair. No, to the contrary, Ms. Peters, you are a privileged person. You are as privileged as they come. And you use that privilege to obtain power, a following, and fame. And to be sure, there's no doubt in my mind that it's exactly what you wanted, and it defies all sense of common sense to believe when you suggested to me a few moments ago that you didn't want this attention. No, you crave it, ma'am. And there is no one in this courtroom who would consider that to be anything other than the absolute truth. But to get to the point of what it is that you did here, it's my impression distinctly that you never took your job of clerking particularly seriously. You didn't complete the certification. One scandal after another followed you in your time as the clerk. And ultimately, it was a belief that the echo chamber in which you live couldn't be wrong, among other things, that led you to do what you did here.
Okay, to be clear, because I'm an idiot and I didn't realize this was a 13-minute clip. I thought this was a 1-minute 30-second clip because I'm stupid and my brain no work. Some necessary context that I've summoned here so that we're all like enjoying this to the fullest possible extent. Oh, we're gonna keep watching. So just to see, you know, we're doing like the in medias res thing, like, you know, we're watching Oppenheimer. Okay, we open with the interrogation and then we learn the context, then the interrogation continues. All right, so Colorado county election official. She was convicted Back in August, she helped breach Mesa County's election computer systems, allowed an unauthorized individual to access voting equipment and election records, carried out the breach amid unsubstantiated claims that mass voter fraud had caused former President Donald Trump to lose the White House in the last presidential election. Well-known figure. Yeah, I remember hearing about her back in 2020. Yeah, I remember. She pled not guilty to all counts in 2022. A jury convicted her on 7 of the 10 accounts. Influence a public servant, 1 count of conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation, official misconduct, violation of duty, failing to comply with Secretary of State. So this is her sentencing. She was convicted. This is her sentencing, where the judge determines like how much time she's going to spend in the slammer, and that's why he's talking about her like worth and character as a person, because this is the role the judge takes in addition to like court proceedings, is to determine the length of the sentence. That's the reason why. Watch the arrest? Well, maybe I will.
Okay, Randy, put your cup down and turn around. Ma'am?
Let go of me. You let go of me. Let go of
Break
me.
her arm.
Let go of me. Let go of me. Oh, no. Let go of me. It hurts. Let go of me. Give me my
You got kicked. Do you understand?
Stop it. No, let go of me. Yes, you are, Caleb. Give me my key to my car.
Is she resisting? I think that's coke in her pocket. Officer, she's got a gun.
Give me my key to my car. Give it to me. Give me my key.
Stay out of here. Step outside for me, please.
Take my purse. Let go of me.
This is definitely a privilege. Well, yeah, of course. No. Like, this was very clear, even from her time in the spotlight back in 2020. She's a wretched, miserable hag of a woman, privileged in every way you could be, a narcissist. Sorry, I saw the Sarah Z video. I'm gonna say it anyway. We'll say a person who is like constitutionally incapable of thinking of others and their feelings. How about that? Can we say that? Like, just a wretched person. And you'll find, like, this is the reason why, like, a lot of Republicans are like this. They're like a wretched, miserable person.
You're hurting me, and I'm going to show all the bruises that you put on me.
If you're not going to cooperate, you'll be
Let
charged
go
with
of me.
obstructing.
Let go of me.
Understand that?
You let go of me now.
No, ma'am.
You're bruising me. Let go
Stop
of
pulling
me.
against us.
I'm not pulling against you.
Like a person who, it seems at least, is like incapable of understanding the position that she's in. And I think she's been like that the entire like criminal proceeding as well, which is the reason why the judge is laying into her. That's the reason why he said, I think if you got the chance, you would do it all again.
Let go of
Then
me.
stand up like an adult.
Shut up. What an asshole thing to say to me.
Literally, it's incredible. She's like, she's a fucking brat. I am above the law. I mean, she does think she's above the law. Like, absolutely, literally 100%. She thinks that, like, cops are for blacks, and that's what like, literally. I'm surprised she didn't drop that during the arrest. Like, that in her, like, genuinely, that is the mental frame here. Let It Be playing in the background. It's pretty funny, yeah. Thank God for body cams. So, here we are. You know, sometime later.
Stop process unfortunately seems to consume so many in our country, regardless of race, gender, political affiliation, or the like, that what it is we hear and think can't possibly be wrong.
Okay, I'm being in this clip apparent. Wait, hold on. Is this before
In the machine, whatever it tabulates is whatever it tabulates.
No, it doesn't. It changes.
You're not letting me finish.
Okay,
Whatever
please.
it tabulates is whatever it tabulates. My hand vote, my ballot remains the same. They counted those ballots. Did they
understand.
not?
I understand what you're saying,
Did
Your
they
Honor.
count the ballots?
No, the ballot images were changed, and that's what the total shows. Okay, I'll move off of this because I can see that it, you know,
Okay, so I guess during her own court proceeding, she was continuing to argue the election fraud thing to the judge. Like, she's not even defending herself against the charges against her. She's defending the conspiracy theory of the Dominion voting machines altering the vote total for... Okay.
I would encourage to read the report number 3.
I've read them, ma'am.
You've read all of them?
I've read those reports.
As your lawyer,
They
I'm
were given
advising you to
me
keep
at some
posting
point,
this
I
shit.
believe.
Good, good. Well, so you know what I'm saying is true. All right, let me move on. It's not funny. My life is on the line here.
Oh my dude, she's like actually insane. I think she should be in jail for life. She's like an actual threat to human. Like it's remarkable, man. The Sarah Z video. God bless you, Sarah Z. I like your videos. Okay, I think they're really good. I really don't think that this person is a person like I'm a person. I'm really sorry. I just watched the video. I just watched the video, but I don't think this person is a person the way I'm a person. I think there's a difference.
Your Honor?
No, you're the one who's making this allegation that one,
It's
I think
not
it's
an
funny,
allegation.
and two, that I know it's true. You're saying that as if I believe you, and I did not say that.
Okay.
That is why
All
I made the sound, because it's insulting to me for you to just put that in a record in front of all of these people that I believe something to be true.
Okay, and I apologize for that, Your Honor. That wasn't my intent. I do apologize for that.
Well, she failed to make the judge a election denier, I suppose. All right, back to the actual sentencing.
There are many things in my mind that are crystal clear about this case. You are no
Yes,
hero.
Basasha.
You abused your position, and you're a charlatan who used and is still using your prior position in office to peddle a snake oil that's been proven to be junk time and time again. In your world, it's all about you. But at bottom, this case was about your corrupt conduct and how no one is above the law. No one in this country has absolute power. Your position as a clerk and recorder, a constitutional position, does not provide you with a means by which to do your own investigation, to not listen to the judiciary, to not listen to the executives higher than you, to not listen to the legislature who sets the law as it may be. This is nonsense. Our system of government can't function when people in government think that somehow, some way, the power they've been given is absolute in all respects. And that's where you fell. You have no respect for the checks and balances of government. You have no respect for this court. You have no respect for law enforcement. And you do not have respect for your fellow colleagues when you were a clerk and recorder who weren't lockstep in your beliefs. Period. Indeed, just weeks before trial, you were apparently doing what I mentioned earlier, that is, over at the clerk and recorder's office where you're not supposed to be, violating the protection order by speaking to employees of that entity with your camera crew in tow.
With her camera crew. Please keep in mind, like, this entire time, I guarantee you, I don't know if this is true, but I guarantee you this is the case. She has been milking every dollar she can out of, and all the attention she can out of her trial. Like, she has people following her around. Like, look at the, Kamala Harris's administration persecuting me. Those cameras ain't following you in the slammer. Prison's gonna be cold and dark, and very much without an audience.
You have no qualms with violating the court's orders because you're innocent, because you didn't do anything wrong. You were just doing your job. You have no problem trying to kick an officer. Your explanation about what happened is preposterous. It's on video. You have no problem lying to officers. It's happened multiple times. They're recorded conversations. It's just more lies. No objective person believes them. No, at the end of the day, you cared about the jets, the podcasts, and the people fawning over you.
I also want to make it clear with regards to the relative weakness of Democrat messaging, that if there was a Democratic county clerk who had turned off surveillance cameras so that she could invite a third party who was unauthorized to be there, impersonating like a member of the public office to like look at and interfere with voting machines. If a Democratic clerk had done that, the right-wing media would still be talking about it every single day. But Democrats do not harp on about her every single day, even though they should. There are so many Republicans like this. People in positions, petty bureaucracies all around the country where they have the ability to do unthinkable damage with very little oversight, largely because they're not expected to do anything partisan. Exactly like what's happening with Georgia, the 3 members of the county election board. You know? They should be screaming this from the rooftop. But this fucking arrest warrant, dude. It's giving Haktua a little bit with the face. You see it. Don't shoot the messenger. You see it too.
You abdicated your position as a servant to the Constitution, and you chose you over all else. Yes, you are a charlatan, and you cannot help but lie as easy it is for you to breathe. You betrayed your oath for no one other than you. And this is what makes Miss Peters such a danger to our community. It's the position she held that has provided her the pulpit from which she can preach these lies. The undermining of our democratic process, the undermining of the belief and confidence in our election systems. It's not about questioning it. No one says you can't question, you can't ask. It's completely different. And if you don't understand that distinction, then there's nothing I can say or do here today that will change your mind. So the damage that is caused and continue to be caused is just as bad, if not worse, than the physical violence that this court sees on an all too regular basis. And it's particularly damaging when those words come from someone who holds a position of influence like you. Every effort to undermine the integrity of our elections and public's trust in our institutions has been made by you. You've done it from that lectern the voting public provided you with. Everything you've done has been done to retain control, influence. The damage is immeasurable. And every time it gets refuted, every time it's shown to be false, just another tale is weaved. So I'll begin by saying I've considered all of those purposes of staying of an execution of a sentence. I've mentioned all of them here generally in my comments already, and I find that a stay of any sentence I impose would be wholly unwarranted. All cases have a possibility of reversal on appeal, no doubt. I'm at peace with all of the decisions I've made here. If anything, I gave you and your counsel far too much leeway at times, but the rulings I made came after much consideration, incredible amounts of internal debate, and I trust in accordance with the applicable law. I consider the sentence here, in this case, what are available to me. Probation. Community corrections wasn't requested, but it wouldn't be an option in any event, and an incarcerative sentence to the Department of Corrections. Probation's focus is rehabilitation. That is, for folks who have minimal criminal histories, low LSI scores like you, Ms. Peters, but where punishment isn't really on the table. It's about putting someone back in the community who's not a risk and giving them a chance to correct those things that brought them before me in the first place. Community corrections, which again isn't available, but nevertheless I'll mention, is another option that I could still order. It's much more stringent than probation, but it's not prison. And it's for folks who have even higher needs. Again, drug addicts, alcohol abusers. And
Hold on. I think this would be a phenomenal time to cut in this clip.
I'm very taken back by how awful I've been depicted when I was just trying to do my job. The people expected me to do. When I look at the people that have spoken here today and asking for harsh sentences, I'm just appalled. I feel bad for them because I know, I've often said God doesn't like people messing with his kids. And I believe I'm a child of God. And I believe that it was important for someone to stand up, and I chose to do that. I have health problems that would not be treatable in the Department of Corrections. First of all, I need a magnetic mattress. I've been on that since 1995. I was in 2 rear-end collisions in 84 and 2010. It was pretty severe. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I don't know if you can zoom in a little bit, and chronic fatigue as a result, and I had to stop working for the airlines in 1995. I was up all night because I was in bed all day. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't control these symptoms until I got, believe it or not, a magnetic mattress of which I still sleep on. I will not have that at the Department of Corrections.
And that sucks for her, huh? She's f***ing insane. She's a psychopath. I'm a child of God, and he doesn't like it when you mess with him. Isn't every human a child of God? But she doesn't believe that, you know. She fully, yeah. Incredible stuff. Yeah, God forbid it's time to sentence a white bitch, and then you got to hear about how she has trauma and ADHD and needs a magnetic mattress and got in a car accident, has fibromyalgia, and is God's child. And so, yeah, that's true. True! Any truers? Any truers?
What do you think the chances are that you and or Donald Trump are in prison a year or two from now?
Well, I'll tell you, if I thought I was going to prison, I would probably be on the beach somewhere, but relaxing. It's just like with Donald Trump's indictment. My indictment has nothing to do with the facts.
Should have spent more time at the beach. Hold on. I'm just pulling through the clips that I saw.
Anything I missed? Anything else we need to address?
Judge, I think you missed a sentencing on count 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. Count 6 is criminal impersonation. That's also consecutive. That's 15 months to the Department of Corrections.
And the cost
So it's 8.5 years total, plus the 6 months for anything I missed. Anything else we need to address?
Judge, I think you missed a sentencing on count 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. Count 6 is criminal impersonation.
He fucking hates her, man. Holy, that's so funny. Oh my god.
And the like. And prison is for those folks where we send people who are a danger to all of us. Whether it be by the pen or the sword or the word of the mouth. Prison is where folks go, where punishment is what we're focused on, because the crime committed is so significant that anything less would unduly mitigate the seriousness of the same. I mentioned before there are no mental health concerns. There's no good reason why you're here, Ms. Peters, other than these are all the active decisions that you made that cost our county significantly, but also more importantly, cost you greatly, Mr. Wood, all the members of the county who worked and trusted you when you asked them to do things that they did on your behalf. It's part of your lies. The expense, the toll is immeasurable. So putting you on probation when you have 0 needs that would be met by probation is the very definition of unduly depreciating the significance of what it is that you've done here. The harm that you've caused our community and continue to cause. Community correction.
This should have happened to everyone in government and in media who pushed for and defended January 6th. And I don't mean like offhand comments. I'm talking about like extremely extensive, committed. Like, this should have happened to all of them. In spirit, she did nothing different from what they did. In technicality, she flipped a few switches wrong. You know, in terms of the damage done, she did this damage in a way that was illegal. They did it in a way that is technically legal. The damage is nonetheless comparable.
Is the same. So prison is the only place that duly meets the purposes of sentencing in this matter.
No magnetic mattress for
the
you!
judgment of the court is as follows. As to counts 1 and 4, the judgment and sentence of the court is 3.5 years in the Department of Corrections. Those sentences will be concurrent to each other. As to count 2, the judgment and sentence of the court is 3.5 years consecutive to counts 1 and 4.
What is a magnetic mattress even? It's a snake. It's snake oil. It's like it's got magnets in it. She bought it off of some grifter. And because she herself is superstitious and prone to magical thinking, she, you know, placebo affected her way into thinking that it helps her. Yeah, it's like people who wear magnetic bracelets or ones that are meant to like realign their ions or whatever. It's just doesn't do anything.
As it relates to the misdemeanor charges, count 8 is 120 days in the Mesa County Detention Facility, concurrent to count 9 and 10, which will be 6 months in the Mesa County Detention Facility, consecutive to the prison sentence. The reason those sentences are consecutive is because those sentences are, as the prosecution stated, directly related to what it is that you did here in our community, the damage you caused this community, the breach of your oath
He does
to
have a good
the
voice,
electorate in Mesa County. Your sentence will be followed by 3 years of parole. You have 2 days of pre-sentence confinement credit. Anything I missed? Anything else we need to address?
Judge, I think you missed.
Okay, there we
sentencing
go.
on-
Yeah.
On count 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. Count 6 is criminal impersonation. That's all.
Is there a chance if Trump gets elected, she can be liberated? Well, Trump can only pardon federal crimes, and this is state charges. However, if Trump wins, those distinctions might not matter for much longer. So who knows?
Also consecutive. That's 15 months to the Department of Corrections.
And the cost.
So it's 8.5 years total, plus the 6 months for a total of 9 years of incarceration.
And I think the only other thing is the cost of prosecution, Your Honor.
Is there an objection to the cost of prosecution, Mr. Case? We can set it for hearing if you need to.
Well,
If you need to have time to respond to it, I can give you that as well.
yeah, we do, because we don't understand how that was calculated.
Very well. I'll give you 21 days to file an objection to the cost of prosecution. You can consult that with the prosecutor. If there's an objection, we'll set it for a hearing. Nothing else. Mr. Case, anything else?
Yes, Your Honor, we have a motion previously filed for a stay, which I believe,
I just denied that.
Denied! The only crime is that it hasn't happened to more people. Well, also the crimes she committed, and all the crimes that they all committed. There have been a lot of crimes, and one of them is that this hasn't happened to more people. Correcting my initial statement. She deserves life. Yeah. At her age, this might be life. Yeah, maybe, especially for a woman that privileged and bratty. Otters, more people should die in prison. That's so true.